Is that my honorarium? Good evening. My name that I was given when I started to walk a traditional road was Kishiba no Din, which means whirlwind. And when the elder gave me that name, he told me my name came from the four directions here on Turtle Island. And they met at the center where I was born. And he said, when it's time for you to journey on your road of life to the places that you're going to go, you'll be able to meet a lot of people, share a lot of things. And at that time, I didn't know anything. I didn't know what he was talking about. So it took many years to learn, to understand, about life, where we come from as human beings. And this old man, he always told us, no matter what people say to you, or how they treat you, or how they look at you, just take it and walk away. Because someday they'll get tired of that and see maybe there is something else that we can use in our lives. The world today is getting pretty hateful, and there's a lot of things that I see and hear, especially on the TVs, about the negativeness. We don't hear too much of the good things that are happening in our communities and the traditional people that try and help. Like, I can't come here and tell everybody you have to live the way I live. Everyone has a choice when we're born. As soon as we start fighting, kicking, screaming, yelling, we have that choice to live. We have that choice to get up and learn and walk on a good road. A long time ago, our elders, our teachers, they taught us things every day of our lives. They showed us what it is that we had to do for each other, to be a human being. And today, it's hard to understand that, like I've heard one of the speakers talk about being in a boarding school. I was the same thing too. And it was a hard 7 years, because in that boarding school I never really learned anything. All I learned what to do was to accept pain, how to get used to it, how to be angry, how to be hateful. And when I came out of there, I didn't know who I was. I went home, through the teachings from that school. I was different, because they always told me every day, that Indians were savage. They were devil worshippers. They were, worse than anything alive. We were the worst thing that was ever created. And after 7 years, I kind of believed that, and I didn't know. I couldn't fit in at home. I couldn't fit in there because the way I was brought up. And so, after a while, I started getting into trouble with the law, going to jail quite a bit, and drinking heavy. One day I was laying in the jail back home. Then I started thinking, there must be more to life than, the kind of life that I'm living right now. There must be more. I'm pretty sure I wasn't put here, to be in jail the rest of my life. Since I was 7 years old, I was put in a boarding school. And that was the worst prison. And here, I know as a child, I was supposed to be innocent. I didn't do anything. And I remember when I went to the school. See, I was very lucky. One side of my grandparents, they were Sioux, Dakota. On the other side, they were Ojibwe. I could understand both languages. And when I went to the boarding school, I used to be able to talk to pretty well all the kids in the school. But every time we got caught, they made us chew bar soap, homemade lye soap. They told us that not to speak that language anymore. Today, if I try and speak with someone, I can't seem to do it. I try, and I stutter, and I try and speak my language. But, it's different when I talk to the Creator. I can sit in a sweat lodge, I can speak my grandparents' languages. I can understand, what the people are saying. For some reason in there, in that sweat lodge, I can connect with the Creator, Mother Earth. I've been asked to come and speak about, the creation of man. Why were we created? To me, when I was young, when my grandparents used to tell us, how to live our lives. They used to tell us, especially my grandmother, my Ojibwe grandmother, she was a second degree Medewan, and she used to talk about, every day when we'd go and see her, she'd tell us, don't be mad, or try not to get mad at anybody. Try and be happy. Don't listen to those negative things that you hear. And she used to tell us, Gichimani too, put you here for a good reason. And, for a long time I didn't understand that. Not until when I was an adult, when I started to go to ceremonies. All of a sudden I started to understand, why we're here. If we really look at why we were created, I'm pretty sure we weren't put here, to call each other down, to hate each other, to kill each other. Because if we were put here for that reason, many generations, many centuries ago, our people would have done that. Everybody would have done that to each other. Because people, you get so good in what you're doing. So for some reason we're all here today. We're all here for a purpose in life. One of the most important things that I learned when I went back to ceremonies. Joe. Oh, and then there was light. Just kidding. So anyways, does this work? I don't think so. When the Creator, He made this world,